is one of my favorite topics. Lessons from lawsuits. Say that, Chris. I absolutely love this topic because we always get so many wonderful responses. And for this particular show, I couldn't think of anybody better to bring on than our old friend Scott Warrick from
There
up
you go.
there in Columbus. Scott, when you and I started talking about how sometimes we just want to grab a client and say, please get out of your own way.
Oh, that's a perfect way to put it. Absolutely.
You're
Yeah.
just not going in a direction you're going to appreciate or be thrilled with. And what we've pulled together for you, audience, is a number of cases. And let me add too. These are cases and notices from the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission just since the end of June. We're not pulling
Mhm.
from the archives. The things that we're going to talk about are things that are just they're happening now. And the idea is for you to hear how some of the biggest companies in the country, some of them in the world, are making really, really preventable mistakes.
Oh, highly prevent. I mean, common sense is you just defy common sense with these things. But as we look at them, we'll look at what these companies are doing and allowing to have happen. And why would they be so stupid?
Well, my favorite phrase, what were they thinking?
Yeah.
And then the answer
Yeah.
is they weren't.
Yeah. How's that working for you? Yeah.
Well, and these guys have got the budget to pay the price of these mistakes. I mean, it's coming out of their profit margin, but how many of our audience have that kind of a reserve of money to just throw out for these lawsuits?
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. And it and I always hear the ridiculous argument that, well, we're busy. We can't manage all these things. Well, you can manage production, you can manage scrap, you can manage customer service. You choose to ignore things like sexual harassment, pregnancy discrimination, and things like this because you don't think you'll get caught. And I always you hear this too, don't you, Pandy? It's, well, what are the chances somebody's going to do anything? Well, the chances are real good, actually. So, right now,
Yeah.
the EEOC, which is where all these cases are coming from, are 40 to 50,000 cases behind. It doesn't cost the employee anything, nothing to go and file. And so you're talking now the hottest area of the law. And so it never ceases to amaze me whenever I'm talking to particularly like a doctor's office or a hospital or someplace. They're so afraid of malpractice from the patients.
Mhm.
And my response is, oh, no, it's not the patients that are going to get you. It's your own people.
Oh, absolutely. 91,000, actually over 91,000 claims of discrimination were filed with the EEOC in 2025, which was an increase of 3.4%. And then
Yeah.
just into the field offices, they saw a 3.5% increase of over 256,000.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
this is not this is not a it's not something to fool around. Hit the big one. Let's start out with Toyota.
Oh,
Let's talk about let's talk
yeah.
about those really bright people over there at Toyota.
Yeah. And let's look at Toyota for a second and just go back up to 10,000 feet. Okay. This is the largest automobile manufacturer in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. They're number one. Everybody thinks about Toyota and Honda. Honda or Toyota could eat Honda and not even burp. Okay. That's how big they are. All right. And I have been to this Erlanger, Kentucky facility, and that was a long time ago. And so I would tell you this case right now that we're going to look at, this would have never happened 15 years ago. It would have never happened. And I don't know who's running things now, but they're not the leadership they had 15 years ago. I promise you that. And so what we've got here is on the line. And Erlanger, Kentucky is the national headquarters for North America. So it's a big deal. Okay. The place is huge. I mean, I'll tell you, probably 20 football fields you would fit in there easy.
Mhm.
Okay. And so what's happening here is you got the men on the line and throughout the offices probably, they're making sexual propositions, uh, uh, like for basically sexual favors for promotions, for benefits. So it's coming from the supervisors, or in this case, the stupid visors. So you've got probably a hostile environment being formed, but you got quid pro quo. You can't go up to some. Well, you can if you're being tremendously stupid. Going up to someone and offering them a better parking spot or a raise or a better review in exchange for sexual favors is quid pro quo. Sexual harassment. Let me just be clear here. Quid pro quo, sexual harassment, you have instant liability, automatic liability. We call it strict liability. And the only saving thing is that this happened to be in Kentucky for these supervisors. There's a lot of states out there, like Ohio. You got personal liability for that.
Oh,
So,
yeah, yeah, good
oh yeah,
point.
this happened just across the river.
Good point. Well, and the
This,
person, oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, you got it taken your house. Yeah. Y-
This,
y-
this,
And you and I have talked about this a lot, Pandy.
yeah.
This is the culture.
Mhm.
So we're not even talking in this case about going out to all the thousands of employees. We're talking about the supervisors who are doing this. And now you're just talking huge, huge, big bucks.
Yeah.
And
And,
this is a training issue. It's an education issue. It's a total lack of leadership.
and according to this press release from July 6th from the EEOC, this had been going on since 2021. This was not something where just a new group of people stepped in and it was a one off. This is a
Oh,
pattern. So, going back to your comment, this was the culture. So,
yeah.
audience, when we don't talk a lot about culture on this show, but truly, if you're allowing this to happen or anything close to it, this is defining your culture. Nope, you're
Well,
absolutely right.
also throw in there, you and I could have prevented that from happening, Pampy. If we'd
Oh,
have gone down
that's
there,
such a nice word of saying prevent.
oh, well, I'll tell you right now, my clients and your clients as well. I've never had a client sued ever in 30 years of practicing law. And I will tell you, if I'm involved from the get go, I've never had a client go to a civil rights action
Okay, so
because you address these things. You don't sweep it under the rug.
let,
And you think, well, how would they ever know? They're going to talk to people. Oh,
well, let's go a little bit further.
yeah.
And this is my opinion, but when I walk out onto a floor and I start talking to people, or at least I hear, you can almost pick up the individuals and their behaviors that would tend to have this preponderance.
Oh, yeah.
That those personalities stick out. If
Yeah.
there's a man brazen enough to do that to a woman, he's probably giving you some other signals of his personality. And same thing with a woman who would do that to a man. So
Right.
the leadership was not, there's something else going on over there. And you're right. They're letting it slip between the cracks, thinking it's never going to catch up with them.
In this
Um,
case, it was pervasive. And let me just throw in one more thing. This is the 21st century, right? Am I got that right?
yeah.
Okay. So I was born in the 1900s. Okay. So last century. Even I know everybody's got one of these.
Yeah. That's right.
In three-quarters of all the states out there, it is perfectly legal to secretly record you. I promise you, I get 3 or 4 recordings a month of some supervisor doing something for a coworker incredibly stupid. And for those of you who are in states like Michigan, Illinois, California, Massachusetts, where you can't secretly record, let me just clue you in here. Your rank and file people under federal law trumps state law, and they're perfectly allowed to record you. Now, picture getting an audio from an employee saying, "My boss said that if I have sex with him, well, I can go to lunch early."
And that's a great reason. That's a really good reason to do that.
Uh, hey Ed, I think we got a problem here. Okay, so oh yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you also, clue you in here, I've never had a case where someone somewhere that is this stupid or this arrogant, we didn't have a text.
Oh gosh. Let's go
Oh,
let's
yeah.
let's keep following on that pattern. Because it's not just what somebody does, but it's also what somebody says. Go to Home Creations in
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma and let's
Yeah.
talk about what those individuals thought was a smart idea.
Oh, yeah.
And
This is yeah, you're absolutely right. Go ahead, Pandy.
no, no, no. It's we talk about the different behaviors of bullying. And one of them is the prankster. One of them is the individual who wants to humiliate other people and thinks that their sense of humor is just cute. But in this particular case, which was again a press release from July 1st of this year from the
Yeah.
EEOC,
Fresh off the press.
it went too far.
Oh. And that's the one thing. And now here we go. We have, we have Carl, the supervisor, who was a great technician. He was doing a great job, whatever it was he was doing. And then we said, "Hey, Carl, you're a really good guy. Why don't we put you into a position of management
Oh,
or supervision?" And so now you're going to supervise people. So right away, you've chosen this person, put them in place, and they make jokes about someone's protected class. Like someone like me, I'm 65 and a half years old. And it's just really great because I get asked, "When you going to retire?" Well, I still got my teeth and I still don't need a walker. So kind of ticks me off. All right. When you going to retire? Do you eat a lot of soup? Or if you're pregnant, like in this case,
yeah.
boy, oh boy, don't be drinking the water. That'll get you pregnant. Right.
And then pregnant women leave. Don't forget that comment. They literally followed it through with,
Yeah.
yeah, you get pregnant, you leave. Oh
Yeah.
my
You get pregnant.
gosh.
Oh my god. Oh, I had one guy, just it was a couple years ago, but it just struck me, we got this on a recording, is we've got all these disabilities that we're trying to accommodate. And the supervisor said, "We just gotta stop hiring all the cripples."
Oh my,
Oh god. Okay. And I'm picturing that in a civil rights hearing,
yeah, yeah,
going off the walls.
yeah.
Okay. Now here are these guys, I promise you. Now let me make this really clear. This is the organization's fault. You got someone who doesn't have a lick of common sense, but you know, that happens. But here's a supervisor who might just be quote quote funnin'. And this is home creation. This is not a small outfit.
No,
Okay.
no.
And so who taught them what the law is? Who taught them that you don't go and make jokes about someone's protected class, like someone's gender, someone's age, someone's color,
They're
someone's
not
accent?
listening to you and me, Scott. They're not. Well, they fired her 2 weeks after her, 90-day introductory
Like,
period.
just a
So,
little
yeah,
icing on the topic there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, no,
Well, now
no.
the employee has no choice. You go to civil rights.
Let's go to Paycom. Everybody's heard of Paycom, but when you come to this show, you don't get protected.
Well, no.
Paycom.
Yeah. And I will tell you, this is the culture. I
Yeah.
mean, this one is really pretty bad. You got a woman with allergies, like food allergies. Okay. And so if she's around certain foods, she goes into anaphylactic shock. All right. Now, those of you who are not familiar with that, it can kill you. All right. So just use your common sense. Forget the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is clearly covered.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna, start finding out what these foods are. Maybe certain foods you can't bring to work, or maybe I need to isolate her, or there's got to be maybe some sort of way to contain these foods. And let's just say I love peanuts, and this woman is allergic to peanuts. Okay. How are you bringing your peanuts to work? Like, are you have peanut butter sandwiches? Well, let's make sure that they're in glass containers, and let's make sure that you're nowhere around Sally. The company did Paycor.
No, Paycom. The
Paycom. Oh,
Paycom.
yeah, Paycom.
Paycom.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't want to disparage Paycor.
No, 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 no.
Paycom
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
Well, no, I'll tell you what they did. She
Yeah.
had 2 ambulance events,
Yeah.
which again is we're not she's not playing games here. She kept
Oh
continuing.
yeah.
They put her in a temporary position for a while, and then they put her right back into an exposed area where she literally had 2 ambulance events. And,
Yeah.
the day after her most severe reaction in 2024, and this started a little bit earlier. I don't see a date as to how long this was going on, but the company terminated her after one of her real severe events. They just decided they don't want to deal with it. Or
Yeah.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. This is just
When you got to call the ambulance on somebody that really screws up production. I mean, bodies everywhere, gurneys and stuff, so we can't be having that,
we've got
so
yeah, we've got
Well,
one on FedEx, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to move that along. We've got one on a staffing agency again, Work Smart, which was really interesting. I'll very briefly talk about this one. One of their clients said, "Oh yeah, don't send us the ladies. We don't want any females in this building. We only want males." Well, as a staffing agency, you cannot agree to that. But Work Smart now knows and has to pay $150,000 in a sex discrimination lawsuit. And
that
and
would
and
put
you've got
most
a
of my
good one.
clients out of business.
That would put a lot of companies out of business.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no, no. And share the one that you so enjoyed.
Oh, well, and this is where the EEOC is really busy these days, and they really got the charge on for the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act.
Oh,
Now, you got to understand, this is a new law from just a couple years ago.
yeah.
And I'm running into more and more supervisors in company that think it's the ADA. No, a pregnant worker now has special protections, which means for about 40 weeks that you basically have to accommodate anything related to the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And doctor's appointments, things like this. And it's really interesting. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, if you've got something that is an essential function, you don't have to do it. I mean, you don't have to accommodate something that's essential to the job.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to take it away. You might try to accommodate that. I'm sorry, you would accommodate that to try to help somebody meet that standard.
Right.
You
Just
don't
as
have to
anyone
get rid of
else.
it. Right. You don't have to get rid of it. Under the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, you got to get rid of it. There are no essential functions, basically, because it's temporary. Now, I can try to accommodate that, but if I can't accommodate it, then you just don't have to do it for 40 weeks. And in this case, there's this woman here, pregnant. She's got her doctor's notes, says you got to have 2 weeks of light duty. Now, freeze right there. That's going to be allowed under the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act every time because you're actually allowed 40 weeks of light duty. You can't lift any more than 10 pounds, no excessive bending, and you got to have 15-minute breaks every 2 hours. Well, she then started bleeding. Now, freeze right there.
That's not good.
I don't.
That's not good.
Oh, well, if you're pregnant, you start bleeding. We're gonna put this in the bad category over here, like right now. Okay, this is serious. And just as a matter of note, if you happen to be someone who is not pregnant and you just start bleeding from someplace, we should take a look at that because I guarantee that is going to be covered under the ADA. So now you got ADA issues,
Mhm.
ergo bleeding, and pregnant. Um,
Who was the company?
this was Smithfield Fresh Meats.
Oh my gosh. Everybody's
Uh-huh.
heard of them.
Oh yeah, North Carolina, big company. And in the end, she was fired. I mean, you just can't do your job. And it's really interesting. Well, you can't do your job because you got to lift at least 15 pounds. No, this is the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act. And, that you're going to have to be able to bend. No, you wish that this was somebody missing a leg. You wish that this was arthritis. Because if you got ADA types of issues, well, yeah, these might be essential functions that we can't accommodate. So let's just say these are essential functions that we can't accommodate, but it's the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act. You got to take it away from the person and give them another assignment.
How much did she win
Gotta
on
do
that one?
Hmm?
How much did she win on that one?
It doesn't say.
Oh, I love it
Yeah,
when they tell it.
but you're talking six figures.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking.
oh, nobody's gonna bother. I mean, honestly, you hear this, oh, $10,000, $20,000. Oh,
No.
That's a
That
that's
won't
a
even pay the
slip and
attorney's
fall.
fees.
No, no, that's oh yeah. attorney's fees would be on top of this if, somehow that plays in.
Right.
But understand, 10 to 15, $20,000, we call those slip and fall accidents. That's, I'm not going to bother with that. And it's not going to be anybody's. No, EEOC. And I'll tell you something else to think about. The EEOC, and they always have, love to publicize the cases that they've won and the dollar amounts.
And that's exactly why we're having this show.
Oh,
Scott, thank you so much. But listen, audience, he's coming back next week because, look, we can talk to you about all the things that you should be doing and the things that you don't want to do. But we need to remind you of the training and how you need, what the things you need to be thinking about so that this doesn't happen to you. And if it does, okay, you're catching it faster. So please stay with us. Come back next week. We love giving you this stuff. And there's plenty of her. Scott, thank you. I'll see you here in a little bit.
absolutely.
Take care.